said, be brave, my son, I'll be home soon. The boy held on to hope till he got that awful news. And as they folded up the stars and stripes, 21 guns pointed towards the sky. As the shots rang out, he flinched a little each time. Then a soldier in his best dress walked up to him, and you know the rest.
This show is brought to you by Operation Encore. Operation Encore is a 501c nonprofit that is helping change the lives of our veteran community. Let me tell you a little bit about what they do. They are helping veterans get into the music industry. They're helping them learn the business, get songs recorded, and not only that, making dreams happen. You know, most of these veterans have got the idea of becoming a musician way before they went into the military. And Operation Encore is filling that gap from while they served in the military and helping them change their lives and live out those dreams. Operation Encore is a nonprofit. You can go to this link right there and click on it. Give them a little help. Hit that donate button. Follow them. Learn about all the great things that Operation Encore does for our veterans. Hey, welcome everybody to Spirits and Stories. This is Donald Dunn, your host. Hey, we've got a great show. You know, I always love it when we get new artists that come to the Veterans Voice Radio family. And today we get to meet Katharina Santana. She is a Navy veteran and a musician. Let's bring on Katharina. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm excellent. I'm so happy to be on your show. Thank you for allowing me to do this.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So let's give everybody a little quick background. Where'd you grow up and kind of what brought you into the military?
Grew up in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Graduated from Cheyenne Mountain High School, 1997. Moved to San Antonio, Texas, where I studied music at University of Texas at San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And then I was singing in bands right off the bat from the age of, I was 18 for a very short amount of time, turned 19, then from then on. But I did have a gap of a hiatus from the music when I did join the Navy. Yeah. And I was just, I was actually considered old when I joined, even though I was not old. I was, oh my gosh, was I 20? I think, or no, I was 22, I believe, or something, in 2016. And so they would consider that old, I guess. I didn't think so, but so they would call me old lady and stuff, because usually they go straight out of high school, I guess, is more the norm these days. So anyways, so I was in the Navy then. I just I joined because I was like feeling like a little bit like I wasn't doing anything with my life, and I thought that would be a good way to get something done and feel like I've accomplished something. Yeah. And so I joined up. I didn't have a specific job quite right away. I went undesignated, which I found out was really a bad idea. Because, you know, you're basically needle gunning and painting while the ship is in movement, you know, hanging on harnesses while the ship's moving, and you're telling you to hurry up and paint, and you're busting rust, and the late night watches, and, you know, all those things that you're just like, what did I just sign up for? versus going in with, you know, a rate, and you know what you're going to do, and you know what to expect. It was one day fly off the handle to the next day, and that was how it was until finally I struck a rate for aviation maintenance men. And then after my tour, I got stationed at Key West, and that's where I got to do that, and the 2 helos that I kept paperwork on, which they actually ended up in the movie Act of Valor while I was there. You know that movie Act of Valor? Yep. The two SH-60s that I used to keep the maintenance paperwork on were those helos in unit at the time. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said what you said about you didn't continue with music while you're in, and that's really exactly where our project and our nonprofit kind of came in, is trying to help people relive out those dreams for a career that they put on hold.
Oh, I wish I would have had that when I was in.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't understand. When you're trying to compete against people that didn't serve in the military, they're years ahead of you by time, whether you do 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. However many years you're in, it's impossible to try to do a music career full time. I mean, it just
pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't have any time to yourself. It's all military.
Yeah. And about the time the local places where you're gigging start to know you, they ship you off somewhere else. And you got to start that process all over again. So yeah, it's tough. And that was exactly where we created Veterans Voice Radio from, is the fact that we kind of just wanted to be somebody that helped celebrate the wins. There's a lot
That's really neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of nonprofits out there that handle PTSD way better than I can do. And I just kind of felt like, by giving people that hand up and helping them navigate some of this stuff, even if they don't never do it as a career, and they just want to tell their stories and document their stories. So, yeah. Man, I'm excited to have you on. Believe it or not, you are the first artist that does dance music. Nobody else. You're the only one. So I had to, and where can I put her? I don't have that genre. So 2 stations. You are being played on Vet Mix, which is our mixed genre station. And I put you on Ranger Rockwave because
nice.
Yeah. So you've got several different areas, and all 3 of the stations really do fairly well as far as listeners base. I thought it would be a lot more uneven. You'd be able to start telling what genres people really love, but our listening base is really close as far as our numbers. I thought that was kind of interesting. When we started, all we had was the Vet Mix station. That's all we had. We started with 1 artist and a subscription to Airtime Pro, and now we're up to 3 stations, and we had 4.
That's great.
I had a comedy channel too, and man, it was just tough. Comedians are a hard bunch of people to nail down and say, hey, can we focus here?
Oh, I bet, because they just fly off the handle so much. That's how they're so witty.
Yep, absolutely.
Can't keep a solid dialogue. They just go off of their mind, they're in their own head, and so you bring up one topic and it'll just fly onto another one without you even trying. You're like, wait a minute, where were we talking about a second ago? Yeah. They're great. I watched the David Letterman, the Netflix series where he'll like interview all sorts of people, and he does a lot of comedians, and it's just like you said, they just go on. And also the Adam Sandler one where he does comedians having coffee, comedians in cars getting coffee. Their conversations are just wild. They have a different train of thought for sure.
Yeah, they do. And I was like, man, I'm trying to help you. And they're like, yeah, I just don't know if I have time. I said, man, all you got to do is give me your TikToks. You're already doing the content. Just give me the TikToks, the one that don't require them to see you, that they would still understand the skit, and I'll just put them on the radio. Oh,
there
man,
you go.
I don't know if I got that kind of time. And I'm like,
oh, come on. Get a secretary.
Exactly. So I got rid of that station. But just out of curiosity, and I meant to ask you this, do you have any music videos that you've done?
That's the only thing that I haven't been able to do a budget for, because, it's expensive to do something quality. You don't want to just use like your iPhone and just do something sloppy. So I just haven't been able to, time-wise as well, because I raised my son by myself. So time and money are a big factor. So I that is on my very much high priority goal list. So I'd like to do that in the near future, especially now that I'm super concentrated on releasing by myself my music instead of relying on other people to do it. I'm doing it myself now.
Yep.
It's on the top of the priority list. So I just got to figure out how and who would be able to maybe work with me on a budget. And that's the big deal, is people wanting to do things for almost free. Can you do this for almost free?
Funny that you mentioned that, because after this is over with, I'm going to give you a little bit of information. So Operation Encore, have you ever heard of them?
Which one?
Operation Encore.
I have not until, well, just your intro that you mentioned it.
Let me tell you what they do. They take 4 or 5 artists a year, and what they do is they take you to wherever your genre is really known. For country, it'd be like Nashville and stuff like that. They link you up with a really good artist to they call it their little boot camp, and that person helps you, teaches you through the business side of it and all that stuff. And then Operation Encore pays to have 2 or 3 songs professionally recorded. And
wow.
After that, you're part of that family. They help cover all the expenses. If you're getting booked to go play somewhere and you're as long as you're getting paid to play, they will help out with the cost of travel and everything else to get you there. And then the only thing they ask in return is when they have events and ask you to come and play, that you're willing to come and play it at their events. But they also will help with videos. So they helped
awesome.
They helped out with Shannon Book. He did a video called Dear Mom. It's an amazing song.
Country?
Nope, it's rock. He was asked to write a song for Gold Star Moms. And so that was the song he wrote, Dear Mom. And just everybody fell in love with it. So Operation Encore helped him do the video. And like you said, it's not cheap. I think his budget was like $7,500 for
and that's on the lower end of a budget. That's not
They had a hard time finding somebody to do it for that price,
Exactly. And that's not cheap either.
No, it's not. But I'm going to link you up with them, and you can apply. They even if they don't accept you as one of their artists that they take on, they come through. They listen. They partnered with me because of the radio station, and they hear a new artist. And Guy from Operation Encore, he'll reach out to me all the time. He's like, "Hey, do you got this artist's contact information? We'd like to talk to them."
Oh, wow. So they're actually actively listening and stuff. It's not people like begging them to listen. They're actually doing it and going and being active with it. That's great.
So every year, or at least every year since I've been with them, they do a partnership with Zach Brown's Camp Southern Ground.
Oh, and cool.
He does what's called Heroes Week. And so they'll come through and they'll be listening to the radio station, and that's what they'll usually hit me up for, because they'll want those people that they liked, that they didn't necessarily have the budget to take on more people, to go to Zach Brown's Hero Week, where it's a songwriter convention, is what it really is.
Zach Brown's a big deal.
He is. And like I said, they partnered with him for several years, and they're an amazing organization,
Yeah, sounds like it.
They're just small, and like you said, all the stuff in the music industry is extremely, just to have a song recorded is not cheap, so that is the only thing that hurts them is the budget to be able to take on more artists, but they do a lot of good stuff, so I'll link you up. But anyways,
thank you.
Kind of squirreled off the road for a minute there, but
it's like a comedian.
Yes, exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the genre that you're in. What brought you to that kind of music?
There was a producer by the name of D Extreme. He was a breakbeat DJ, and he produced his own music as well. He didn't just spin other people's tracks. He made his own rhythm beats and productions. Yeah. And a friend of mine, Brett LaBar, that knew that I sang, because I sing in cover bands, and he had brought I guess he was looking for a female vocalist to do a couple songs, and he introduced me, and then he showed him some of clips of me singing live, and he was like, "Wow, perfect pitch, and she looks great, she sounds great, let's do it." And sorry, I'm having the allergies today. So I got to his place, and he gave me this track and said, "If you could write to this, write something to that, and let me know how you do and when you're ready." And I took it to him, and he just, off the bat, he was like, "All right, let's do it. Let's record it." And this was 2014. It was called Feel My Love. And so he was basically the first producer to take me to the studio and bring me out, to the open. Because I had my own little tunes that I recorded myself, like on my own little 8-track before and stuff, but I had never had anybody finally like come out with a final product. Like I had a couple other people that I would, and this happens all the time and still happens. I'll write something, I'll go to the studio, I'll do the vocals, I'll record it, and it just sits on a desktop. Like nobody ever, they don't finish their end, or they get busy with other stuff, they get sidebarred, and then they just never finish it. Usually it's not anything personal, it just kind of gets forgotten about or whatever. So finally this was somebody that took me to the next level, and we released it, and he had people remix it, and I just ended up falling into that genre after that. So people that knew me from that song would want to work with me, and they were in that genre as well. So it just I kind of got stuck there, but I can do any genre. So I actually via the same type of music, electronica, I am doing a Christian song, my first Christian song. I'm very excited about that. But it is as well, it's going to be like a electronica as well. But I do want to do something else. Before, I'm going to backtrack. Before I did in 2014 do that electronica song, I did release a song that was like a bluesy type of song, but it's under my previous last name, Castory, not Santana. So a lot of people don't know that song. It's called Talk to Me, and it was a bluesy, soulful type of song.
I actually have it.
You have the bluesy one, the Talk to Me bluesy 2012?
I don't know if it's the same one because it's got another person with it, and it is under your current name.
Those are the remixes. I had remixes to it done.
Yep. And I love it. So I got a song queued up that I'm going to play here in a little bit so everybody can hear. Just because I love the music. Like you said, your voice is amazing. So
thank you.
I think it's just a matter of now waiting for the world to catch up, because once you do, you're gonna be on fire.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to get that attention out there, and slowly, it takes a lot of time. How old was Rodney Dangerfield before he finally got recognized? He was an old man already.
Yeah, and everybody says, and I hear it all the time, right? Everybody says that now is the best time because you got all the internet and everything. Comedians and singers and everything are getting picked up from YouTube. But what they don't realize is how much more competition that brought in.
It sure did.
Yeah. I mean, back then, not anybody could just do it. You had to be willing to move and travel and live in your car and gig and get to know people. And now you don't even have to do any of that. It's just hopefully the right.
On top of that, not just opening more doors, but it also lowered the income value, because now people could just rip it off of the internet. So even major mainstream artists are like hurting and not enjoying that aspect either.
Well, it's super tough. I mean, that was one of the reasons, and I didn't honestly know how bad it was until I opened up this radio station. I went and got the licensing through BMI and through ASCAP. So we pay our royalties, but it is insane how low these royalties are. There's no way anybody can live off of it. I don't care how much your song, if you're not getting gigs and getting up on a stage in today's world, you are going to starve to death, because the days of CDs are gone. The days of streaming and big platforms like Apple and Spotify, there's loopholes. They play a lot of songs that they don't even pay royalties for.
Right.
And so it's really unfortunate. It really is, because I think last quarter, I think our 3 radio stations played just under 20,000 songs. And I think my royalties was like $6. It was, it's crazy.
And you're 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. I mean, some of them, obviously, some artists, the royalties are a little bit higher, I'm sure you play Jelly Roll or something like that right now, where how big he is and how in demand he is. You're probably going to pay more royalties than you will, because there is some catches like that. But for the most part, just like you said, man, it is tough. Nobody's getting rich from streaming, that's for sure.
No, and I'm definitely not doing this to try to be rich, but I would like to be at least a little bit successful. I mean, I know that it's not going to make me rich by far. And the only way for me to do that is just to keep releasing,
Yeah. And getting your name known and getting up on stages. I seen some pictures of you up on stage. I thought was amazing. It looked like really good turnout for crowds too. I mean,
I've had some pretty big ones. When I used to sing with Switch, we opened up for Loverboy for the WMMO concert series. That was probably one of the larger crowds I got to do. That was a lot of fun. The bigger the crowd, the more energy I give.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, isn't this this is the same genre that Deadmau5 is in, right? Have you heard of him?
Deadmau5?
Yeah.
I think I recognize that name, but there's also different types of electronic music. There's breakbeat, and there's drum and bass, and there's techno, and there's house. So I don't know which one he is.
Yeah, I think he's more techno, maybe house. I heard him on and it was just kind of cool, his story about how his name came from. I guess he passed out with a mouse mask on.
Oh,
he said he
the one that he wears, right?
Yeah. Yep. Same one. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. And like I said, you're the first on our station, so
that's really cool. I bet that threw everybody off when they heard. They're like, wait a minute, this is way not what I'm used to on this radio station.
That's
great. I'm going to stand out.
and you did. So it's funny that you said that, because we've got 3 projects, right? We have a podcasting program, an author program, and our radio station. Well, the guy that runs the podcasting program for us, when your music played, he's like, dude, she is good. He said, that's my music. I love that kind of music.
Awesome.
He called me to tell me. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, I love that.
But so it sounds like before you came in the military, you was into the music heavy and you enjoyed it, but it wasn't this same genre, was it?
Well, cover bands was just, like I said, just covers. And when I was doing cover bands, I self-taught guitar. I just taught myself guitar, and I was writing my own little acoustic songs, but I never recorded any of those in the studio. Well, minus one. If you go to my SoundCloud page, there is one, but it wasn't recorded in the studio. A friend just helped me record it. It's called Breeze. Mm-hmm. That's the only one that you would hear on any of my web pages. That's 100% everything I wrote, the music, the melodies, and the lyrics. All the other things that you hear is somebody else produced the track, and then I wrote the lyrics, melody, and vocal concepts of all, the harmonies and the ideas. Like, there's a couple songs, where you hear like echoes or overlays. I come up with those ideas typically, not recently. When the breakbeats producers and stuff, they'll do their own little sound effects. But in the very beginning, when I was doing it, I was telling them, I hear this, I want to do this, and I want you to plug in this. And so I want to actually try to get get a little more control that way too. When I do my future songs, try to tell them, hey, I kind of hear this, to get a little bit more of my creative input besides just writing the song and melody and lyrics. I want to try to help produce the vocal part as well.
Man, I think it would be super challenging to put all that together. You know, I've had all sorts of artists on my show, and I always ask the same question, you know, this particular song, where did it come from? So the song that I'm going to play for everybody is called Tap Out. Where did this song come from? Where was the idea for that song?
Tap Out.
Yeah, that's Tap Out by Katharina Santana. Here, how about we go and play it, and we'll see.
That's funny. I don't recognize that title.
That's what the one that you sent to me. That's what it was called.
Tap Out.
We'll go and play it.
Okay.
Let me share the screen.
I can't see, it's so little. Is it playing?
You can hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Let me do it this way.
Unless I wrote the wrong name or something. That's funny.
There we go. Now this will work this time.
Talk to me. Oh, talk to me. Talk to me.
I don't know.
That's a typo. It's called Talk to Me.
All right, I'll change it then.
Talk to me. cool. Yeah, that's this song. Let me see if I can.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'll get the title changed. But man, that song, singing that song has got to be tough with how fast the music's going. And man, I've been out of breath at about the minute 10.
Well, that's actually the second remix of the original Talk to Me, which is that one I mentioned, the 2012 one, and it's super slow and bluesy. It's a much slower song, and that one, that's the second remix. I gave you both remixes though. That one was with DJ Self, and the first remix is with Wes Smith, and his is really awesome too. But what I did when I did re-record it was I did do it at a faster beat per minute, but it wasn't hard. For me, it's simple. I know the song, I wrote it, so all I had to do was just sing it a little bit faster. That way, when they remixed it, they wouldn't have to increase the tempo, and then I sound like a mouse. So I just sang it a little bit faster, and then that way, when they did their production, they could still speed it up a little and I not sound mousy.
Right.
But had I not done that, I would have sounded like Minnie Mouse or something, because they would have tried to speed it up too much.
Yeah.
From what because when the original one is like really slow, it's like, talk to me, sing it with me now. Yeah, it's really slow. Yeah.
And you could tell the blues in it. So I didn't know that until you said it, but after re-listening to it, yeah, there is a blues to that. So where did the song come from? Where did the motivation for writing it come from?
It's so funny that I usually try to not focus any songs on myself. So I do like more storytelling. Okay. I'll get like a melody in my head, and then I'll just think of like a sentence, like, okay, what does it sound like I could be saying? And then I was like, oh, talk to me. And so I said, okay, well, I just kind of just go off of it. It's funny. It's not too often that unless somebody wants me to write particular something, like not too long ago, I might be doing a collaboration, and the person said, well, this is going to be about a kid that bounces from foster home to foster home. And then he just gave me a scenario. So now I have to like think about that and then write those words. Other than that, when I do my own songs, I'm just kind of like making up a story. I don't have anything in particular about myself.
Okay.
Whatever the song makes me feel like, just get that little muse and it just comes out.
That's, a lot of people say, that music is a self-expression. And I don't believe that it has to be a self-expression of specifically events in people's lives. Just like you said,
no.
It could be moods, it could be likes, it could be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be, when I say personal, meaning a personal tragedy or a personal romance.
Correct.
Stuff, but it's still pieces of you that are coming out in that song, because they're topics that you like, they're stories that you like,
right.
So I think
maybe more like stuff that I wish would happen or something, maybe subconsciously or something. I don't know. There's only been one or two songs that haven't been released that I wrote like about a topic about myself, but they haven't been released.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask the tough question now. So the tough question is if there was one stage that you could be on, where would you want to perform? Your bucket list place to perform?
It would be awesome to perform at, while the ball was dropping on New Year's Eve in New York, Times Square.
Would be cool.
Yeah, that's like the place. Of all places.
I think for that too. I mean,
yeah, it would be like, I would say I made it if I got to do that.
Well, we need to make that happen, because that is awesome. That you are the perfect artist for that. I mean, everybody out there is upbeat, having a great time, loving life, and man, the music you'd provide them, man, if you could overdose on happiness that night, I think.
That's good. That's what I want with the feel good songs. I do want to write another ballad, but because like I said, I have a lot of songs that are in the arsenal that I'm actually trying to bring back into light, and I'm handing them over to people that I'm like, listen, this never came out, and I own my lyrics and I own my melody to it, but I don't own the production. So I just need somebody to listen to what I wrote and come up with their own production so I can maybe release it, because I really liked what I came up with, and it's a shame that it never made light. So I'm trying to get a few older things that have been sitting back that I want to introduce to the world. So we'll see. And there's one that's a ballad that's just beautiful, a little tearjerker of a ballad that I really hope that I can bring out to the light. We'll find out.
Yeah.
See.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And anything that you come out with that's new, make sure we get it, because
I sure will.
Yeah, absolutely. The world needs to hear it, and that's my goal with this. The one of the things that me and Operation Encore is trying to make happen is we want what's called the VMAs, the Veteran Military Award or Veteran Music Awards, is what we want.
Cool! Oh, wow.
And the idea is to have veterans that served, that made it big in the industry, like your George Straits and people that served or are extremely patriotic, like Kid Rock and stuff like that. We want them to host it. And these independent bands, we would select 10 or 12 bands a year and have it be a fundraiser to go towards another veteran organization. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but you've heard of the Miss America pageant, right?
Of course, yeah.
There is actually Miss Veteran pageant that runs simultaneously with that.
Oh, wow.
It's done exactly the same as the Miss America pageant. The only difference is you had to be a veteran or active or National Guard or reserves, either one. And you have to win your state. And then they go to Atlanta for the main pageant. And then instead of how like Miss America, each of the people have their own charities that they are running for. Well, this one, all the funds go to their charity, which is helping homeless female veterans that have kids. Because
that's a great cause.
Yeah, and it's all of them coming together. It's veterans getting back with each other and having camaraderie and being back around each other. And their website is super, super cool. I would love to have whoever created their website on my show, because it's got all these beautiful women in these gowns, right? Except they're covered in dirt.
Right, because they're from the military, were they?
Yep. So super awesome. And I had a few people that were running this year on the show, and that's how I learned about it. But I think that's a super cool idea, and so I want to do this. And I don't want to make it genre specific. I don't want to do like the country music awards. I just want it to be the veteran music awards. And
love it. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And that's what I always tell everybody, man. It's hard trying to make it super, super fame when you serve 20 years, 18 years in the military, because you're so far behind the Powerball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
people would have, even if you would have had a name before that, you would have fallen off, because you have to keep on it.
It's tough, between traveling, writing songs, and then doing it yourself. Independent people, man, they really have it hard, because they're doing all of it. They're wearing multiple hats. They're producing themselves. They're doing their social media. They're writing their songs. They're doing it all.
Yeah, so they don't have to pay people to do it. That's one way to really. Yeah, but you're working 90 hours a week for yourself and not making money most of the time.
Yeah, it's super tough. And so, that's what I tell everybody, if we can get this to come together, and there's a few sponsors that are interested in being a part of it, but if it's something that we can get done, and I know it's going to happen before I die, at the end of the day, somebody may not be the next Garth Brooks, but they will be for that day. They'll be on the red carpet. The press will be there. Everybody's going to know about them. It's going to be televised. And I think it'll be super cool. And it's just another way to say, hey, we see you, we know what you're doing, and you're making a difference. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. That's a beautiful idea. I love that. I have some connections with where I had my the veterans. They used to call it a retreat, but it's not for people with PTSD because I do have that, and I went to it's a wellness retreat where you do get together with other veterans, you get some counselings, and you do other fun things, and you get together for like a week and do that. And they used to be called Veterans Alternative, but now they're called Warrior Wellness, and they're over here in Newport Richey. Yeah, you've heard of them?
I've heard of Warrior Wellness. I didn't know them as the other name, but I've heard of them.
That was so. If ever you wanted to try to I know Travis that works there, and Patty and all those people. So if you wanted me to reach out to any of them for you, I'd be happy to.
We'll bring them on the show and help get them out there and get everybody to know about them. You know,
absolutely, they would love that.
That's exactly what this is about. Is there's no one army here. It's going to take a group of people to fix a lot of the problems. So networking and you come across somebody that needs a specific thing, you can say, well, I don't do that, but I know somebody that does, and you can
That's
start.
What we need.
Yeah.
Got to find support because it's just so like hard to get it these days when you go the typical route because things are so messed up. You have to kind of like word of mouth and know where to go and then things like your show. This is how you do it, word of mouth, and I know this person and scratch each other's backs. Because unfortunately, you go into like the official route, it either takes too long or you just never get seen.
Yeah.
Things like that. So,
and
a lot of nonprofit organizations are the way to really get help.
Yeah, it is. And it'll be the mom and pop, I don't talk bad about the VA because they've done some good stuff for me too.
Right.
They're so overwhelmed. There's no system in the world that can fix all the problems. And, I've had a lot of guests that come on that want to, they want to build tiny homes. We're going to build this tiny home community and we're going to fix veteran homelessness. And I said, okay, that's great. But are you also going to fix the fact that they don't have any documentation? Are you going to fix the mental illnesses that they have?
Right.
What about the detoxing and substance abuse problems that they have? What about
there's so much.
I mean, there's just no way. You would literally have to have a city, a little town built to have all the people living there that provides all these other resources. It is, and that's why nobody has been able to successfully tackle it because of what it's going to cost to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they got to at least start somewhere, though. Like, at least pick one of those lists of things that you said and at least try that. And maybe just branch off from there once you get one of them rolling, get to one issue at a time. Because it is a lot of things, like you said, but at least tackle one other one besides just trying to run them through the system and not get anything done.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool organizations that have started building the tiny homes. I can't think of the name of the show that came on, and they're doing great things. Their main mission is something I never even thought about. They help older veterans that are getting in their senior years that don't have the money to do the upkeep on their house, and they're now too old to do it themselves. So they partner with a bunch of companies, and they'll put on 50 roofs a year. They'll put on decks, ramps for wheelchairs, and they go around the United States. They're not just one place. They're all over the United States, and they'll do these things. Well, they got certified to build tiny homes. So now they're building tiny homes and donating them to homeless shelters to put in places. There's one in Kansas City. It's called I think it's called Veteran Village or something like that. But it's a community full of tiny homes for just ex-military and veterans and that are homeless.
That's amazing.
There is a lot of stuff that's coming. It's just a really big problem, and I think if nothing else, you're getting people inside a shelter. They're not freezing to death and stuff like that. So
It's a problem that I don't understand how it even became a problem, because of all people that shouldn't be homeless, the people that served your country should be the first ones not to be homeless. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think people became desensitized. I mean, every person on a corner holds a sign that says homeless, veteran, God bless, please help, you know? And people got to the point where they seen that every time. They didn't know who really was a veteran and who wasn't.
That's true. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that is, people just, man, they're rats.
Yeah. But there's a lot of good mom and pop organizations that are doing some great things. And I think that's an amazing thing. I love the veteran community, and especially on my side, because I get to celebrate the wins. You know, I don't have to go through all the crying and everything, because I'm on the side of people coming out of the other side, and they're writing books and singing songs and trying to become musicians or authors or even the next Joe Rogan, you know. So
yeah.
I get to be a part of that, and it's great for my mental health as well as it is for theirs. So
Helping people is a great way to have to help yourself. Helping others, it's amazing to do that, because it makes you, like you said, build your own confidence too, because you're doing something for somebody else. You know, it's helping somebody else. There's nothing greater than that.
Yeah, I love it. So do you got any upcoming events, any place that the world should know and make sure that they're there?
Right now, I'm on a hiatus from performing.
Okay.
So I'm only focusing on releasing songs until my son gets a little bit more older and more independent, and I'll be able to have more me time, because I'm just a single mom. Then I'll think about maybe doing again some acoustic, or picking up, maybe try to get into because corporate shows, corporate bands, that's where the good money's at, unless you're of course famous. So I mean, you get paid really good money for some of these shows, and I'm in the right state to do it, because Tampa and Orlando, all the different places, Disney, Universal, like those places I used to play when I was in cover bands, that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
The people that go for retirement, or they do their high school reunions, or just whatever corporate functions, they go to Florida.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yep. You are right. What's your son's name?
Ezra.
Ezra. Shout out to Ezra.
Yeah, he's asleep. I make sure I put him down early. I'm like, all right, you're going to sleep at 7:30 today.
How old is he?
He's 5. Yeah, 5? Just turned 5 in February. 5 going on 10 already trying to answer back and everything. Oh, goodness. It goes so fast.
Well, kindergarten starts next year then, right?
Yeah, I know. I was like in tears. It's almost like he's already going to his dorm room. Like, I'm sitting in a kindergarten thing.
Yep.
He's not a baby.
That's the awesome part, that you're getting to spend some time with him, and I guarantee you there'll be some music that comes out of it,
Oh, for sure. He loves to sing, and he's so funny because he knows how to already, maneuver phones with, like, that's like the thing now. These kids already know how to maneuver through phones without you even telling them how. Yep. And he finds my songs, and he loves them, like the one that you played. Yep. And he doesn't know the words totally, but he'll be like, and then he knows the beginning to the other one. And I go, my name is Katharina, so he'll be like, my name is Katharina. It's so cute. Yeah. He's like my biggest fan. I love it.
Awesome. I think all of us guys are mama, regardless of who you are. I know I am too,
Oh, he's big time going to be mama's boy.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring you forward. I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell everybody where they can find your music, any websites, little ats, wherever you want them to go. And then I will make sure I include them in the description and everything else.
So, it's so easy to find me. All you really have to do is Google my first and last name, Katharina Santana, just like it's spelled down on the bottom there, Katharina Santana. And it'll on the top of that Google page, it'll have all of the links to the Spotify, to the iHeart, I'm on Reverb Nation. I'm on SoundCloud, Amazon Music. You can get my music on there. YouTube. Pretty much all the major channels that have music, you'll find me on there. Pandora plays my music. But the easiest way, really, to get to my links is to Google my name. And it's so funny that I discovered that, because I don't know if you've ever tried to Google yourself out of curiosity, but I did that and I realized, wow, they've just done all the work for me. They've got everything listed. They've got other things that I've partaken in events like the Music Beats Cancer. They have that listed, so you could read different articles and things like biography about me and different things that I have partaken of event-wise, like charity events or competitions. There's all kinds of little things, facts and stuff that you could read on Google. And it even has me listed as a public figure. I was just like, I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm a public figure without the 6-digit income.
Yep, that's but that's what I tell everybody, man. We just got to fake it till we make it. That's
right.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So just Google my name. It's that easy. Because if I sat there and tried to tell you all the links, you'd have to get a pen and paper. Because you know how they're weird. It's like Katharina _Santana #1 capital K. So luckily Google has done all the work for me.
And to make it even easier, like I said, we'll have all the links in all the descriptions so people can just click on them and check you out.
Yeah. I think I sent them to you. If not, I'll redo that, and then you can copy paste, and then it'll show up.
I think they were in your bio, the email you sent with your bio.
Right. Good. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, and everybody's gonna be able to hear you on Veterans Voice Radio, and I am going to get our station fixed, and I will resend you out some times that the music.
Oh, great.
And we will get that fixed. I had no idea. That was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, you mean you'll do the top of the hour again for me?
Yep.
That would be great.
We will make that right, because I did not know that it was doing that. But
no, a lot of people are missing out on some good songs besides mine.
Yeah.
I'm also on the College Underground FM radio station, and that's one that you'll find as well linked in the Google. College Underground Radio and Glacier FM radio. I'm on those internet stations as well. They are playing a couple of my tunes, and just recently there was another one. I'm trying to think. Oh no, I had an article done on the song you played, Talk to Me remix #2. They just did on Rising Artist Music. They did a little what do you call it when they review it? Okay, and you'll see that, a little listing there of the review of the song and a little biography about me as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, everybody's getting in before the tickets and the interviews cost like $50,000 for 30 seconds of time.
Right.
We're trying to get in on the ground floor.
There you go. That's so funny.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I love your music, and I already know, because people have been telling me how much they love your music. So,
thank you.
We will get you out there and get the world to know what they're missing out on.
Oh, thank you. And I really love that you let me get on the show. I appreciate it. I feel special.
I appreciate you coming on. Nobody listens to the show for me. It's all the guests. So I without you guys, this show wouldn't even exist. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking care of the veterans.
My honor. I love it. I do. It's one of the best things I do in my life. So,
are you a veteran as well? I didn't even get to ask. Oh,
I retired in 2014. I was in the Army.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service also.
Well, I appreciate it. So, well, I'm going to put you in the green room. If you don't mind holding on for a second, we'll get the exit video out there, and I'll be with you and I'll get you some of that information I was talking about.
Sounds good.
All right. So, I know if you haven't listened to her music yet, you better be heading over to Spotify, finding out somewhere, because you're missing out. Her songs are amazing. And, you know, I don't know who does the productions behind it, but man, they're like great teams. So I want y'all to go check it out. You know, help support her. Buy the music off of iTunes and Amazon, wherever you download music, and check her out because man, I feel lucky that she was even willing to be on our show and to be on our radio station. So I want y'all to have a great day. Remember, don't let the day kick your ass. Kick the day's ass.